같이? 같이. 지금 바로? 어떤 포즈입니까? 이게 먼저 하는 포즈야. 하나, 둘, 셋. 이게 야, 이게 맞냐고.
Footprints on the Alps, Jimin and Jungkook's unforgettable Swiss journey. There are certain rare moments in a person's life when time itself, which usually moves so quickly, suddenly seems to come to a gentle standstill. When the deafening applause and cheers of thousands of fans lighting up a massive stadium slowly fade into the distance and are replaced by the serene whisper of the cold mountain breeze blowing softly between towering snow-capped peaks. For two friends who have navigated the heavy waves of global stardom together for more than a decade, this short getaway was never just an ordinary trip to fill free time on a work calendar. It was a quiet rediscovery, a beautiful, serene escape, to reconnect with who they truly are at their core, far away from the world's spotlight. Summer mid-2025. A simple 20-inch suitcase standing in the corner of the room, 2 passports tucked safely inside a jacket pocket, and an unexpected sweet morning surprise that broke the silence at Jimin's residence. Jungkook arrived without any prior notice, gently waking his older brother who was still sound asleep, and whispering softly with a playful yet firm tone. "Wake up, Young, get ready, we are leaving today." Without knowing exactly where the airplane wheels would carry them across the ocean, two of them stepped forward together toward Incheon International Airport with mysterious smiles on their faces. Until finally, with flight tickets in hand, the beautiful mystery was revealed. The destination of their secret journey was a fairy tale land in Central Europe, a place of matchless natural beauty, Switzerland. Just imagine for a moment the beautiful feeling that settled inside their hearts at that moment. Only a few days after fulfilling their duty and completing their service as responsible citizens, Jimin and Jungkook found themselves standing beneath a crystal-clear blue sky framing the timeless elegance of the legendary Matterhorn peak. In a quiet little town called Zermatt, a place where gas-powered motor vehicles are strictly forbidden from driving, the atmosphere around them transformed into something purely magical and deeply soothing for the soul. There were no rigid security barricades, no blinding flashes from paparazzi lenses coming from every direction. There were only 2 young men from Busan walking casually along the cobblestone streets, breathing in the pure, crisp alpine air that refreshed their lungs. But what was the main thing that made this journey across the Swiss Alps so truly unforgettable for the two of them? Was it the spectacular view of Lake Como, with its waters flowing like liquid turquoise crystal? Was it their courage as they challenged their fears by trying extreme sports, soaring through the open air above deep, steep valleys? Or was it the simple, goofy moments and playful banter that never ceased between the two of them? For fans who observed every detail of their journey closely, the true magic of this trip shone brightest when the Swiss sun began to set slowly behind the horizon. Inside a warm, traditional wooden chalet in Zermatt, behind the steam rising from a hot meal they cooked together amidst shared laughter in the evening, quiet moments between Jimin and Jungkook filled with the most honest, deep, and genuine conversations from the bottom of their hearts. Jimin leaned back comfortably, gazing out the glass window, watching the blanket of millions of stars lighting up the dark alpine night, while Jungkook sat right beside him, gently stirring a warm cup of a hot drink in his hands. After spending years living at the center of an intensely packed schedule, bearing the heavy weight of a global legacy under the eyes of millions across the world.
그냥 드립. 짜증나 볼까요? 어떻게 이렇게 단 걸 좋아할까?
In this secluded and peaceful haven, they could finally return to being the simplest versions of themselves. 2 ordinary young men from Busan who once dreamed together of conquering the world through their music. In the quiet of that serene night, their conversation slowly turned toward a deep sense of longing. A longing for the bustling energy backstage. A longing for the laughter and warmth of the other 5 BTS members who were in different places. And of course, a deep longing for the roaring voices of millions of armies singing along, who always missed their presence on stage. Jungkook looked at his older brother and whispered softly with a tone full of resolve and longing, "I really can't wait to gather back in the studio. I miss our music so much, Young." And Jimin could only wear his signature warm, affectionate smile, nodding gently in complete agreement with every single word spoken by his youngest brother. Yet, of course, their journey through the land of Switzerland was not only filled with quiet nights and sentimental nostalgia. It was an adventure packed with bursts of laughter and exciting challenges that pumped their adrenaline. From trying their hand at paddleboarding across the freezing lake waters, playing table tennis with pocket money on the line at their lodging, to the hilarious, unexpected moment when their train to Brienz ran into technical difficulties, forcing them to switch to a wooden ferry ride across the breathtaking lake instead. Every minor obstacle and uncertainty along the way, rather than ruining their mood, turned into explosions of joyful laughter echoing across the silent mountain valleys around them. One of the most touching aspects of this entire trip was how naturally their bond of brotherhood shone through without any forced effort. When Jungkook prepared to do the canyon swing, a leap from an extreme height capable of making anyone's heart leap out of their chest, he specifically made sure to remember a secret keyword just so Jimin wouldn't have to receive a penalty jump off the steep cliff. A small and simple gesture, yet one that clearly showed how fiercely they protect and look out for each other, even in the middle of a game testing their courage. While traveling through the beauty of the Furka Pass, a winding road cutting through the grandeur of the Alps, Jimin and Jungkook decided to pull their car over for a moment by the roadside. They both stepped out and stood at the edge of the high cliff, letting the cool alpine breeze gently stroke their faces. Standing in such a high, magnificent, and quiet place, the world before them felt infinitely vast, and every life burden or worry felt impossibly small and insignificant. They both realized just how far a distance and struggle they had traveled together ever since they first met as young teenagers. Switzerland stood as the most beautiful silent witness that afternoon, that while the wheels of time may march forward and change, that while the world outside may continue to change rapidly and unpredictably, the loyalty, pure brotherhood, and deep trust between Jimin and Jungkook will always stand firm like the unshakable granite rocks of the Alps across the ages. This unforgettable getaway ultimately served as a beautiful emotional bridge for the two of them, a sweet closing chapter to a long season of waiting, and a grand opening chapter to a much brighter new era that they are ready to craft together with all the BTS members on the global music stage. As every single memory from the land of Switzerland was tucked neatly into the deepest corners of their hearts, Jimin and Jungkook walked away from the Alps carrying far more than just scenic photos to feast the eyes. They returned home with their souls and spirits fully recharged, ready to light up the world once again and greet millions of fans with new works and warm smiles. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to this deeply emotional journey. Among so many beautiful moments in Switzerland, which part or funny moment from Jimin and Jungkook touched your heart the most? Share all your thoughts, impressions, and favorite memories in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this beautiful story with fellow armies worldwide, and hit subscribe for more in-depth BTS stories and analysis coming your way. Until our next story, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep spreading kindness and love wherever you are.
마이크 들리냐?
하나, 둘, 셋. 꽉.